Good morning everyone, welcome back to another episode of Savanna Stay-at-Home Safaris. We headed out early this morning. It's a very cold morning this morning to go and try and relocate on where the Ottawa Pride ended up, what they got up to. We know that they made a kill yesterday. The Matimba male seemed to have taken most of that kill, so we're hoping that we'd find them maybe on a carcass of some type. But it looks like they have been unsuccessful overnight and are still out on an early morning hunt. It looks as if all the members are here at the moment, so we'll see what they get up to this morning. Right, as we suspected, folks, the Ottawa Pride have moved into this thicker vegetation and are busy hunting. Been following through the block, and all of a sudden, the young adult lioness has got up and run right around this area, and we've just noticed a herd of zebra up in front of us. Quite often, what you'll see with these young cubs now, they're at that very awkward age where they often ruin the hunt. They're still busy learning and not quite sure what to do, so they very often just kind of run into the open and are still trying to gain that experience from being part of the pride and learning from the pride at the moment. But we'll sit tight and see what happens. So after a closer look, it does look like the lions did catch something overnight, maybe something quite small, maybe like an impala. With the big Matimba male around following them, if this pride does catch something small like a duiker, a warthog, even an impala, he will steal quite a bit of that carcass. And so you can see the lionesses haven't got big bulging stomachs and haven't eaten fully yet, so that's probably why they're out on the hunt again this morning. The Matimba male, on the other hand, has got a nice full stomach and he's definitely had something to eat in the last couple of days. So pretty amazing how you can see already the size difference between these young cubs. At kind of just 18 months old, the young male starting to get longer hair on the chest already. This tiny little mohawk on top of his head, and the young female much smaller head, much smaller feet, and already you can start to see the size difference between the male and the female. Alrighty guys, as the Ottawa Pride is kind of settling down, the zebras have moved a little bit further away from them, unfortunately. But as we spoke about in one of the previous videos, I think Ottawa Pride are quite good at hunting in the daytime. They very often will leave them here in the morning, thinking they're going to lie up for the rest of the day, and in the middle of the day they get up and move. It also might be one of the strategies for the lioness is to try and shake off the Matimba male. He's going to be very hesitant to get up in the heat of the day and go off walking and hunting. But what we'll do is we're going to leave one of our other team members here for now and see if they get up during the day, but we'll carry on and see what else we can find for you this morning. Folks, lovely herd of elephants here. Looks like they're moving quite steadily northwards. We'll spend a bit of time with them and see if they end up close to one of the waterholes, or always good to spend a bit of time with these herds of elephants, the youngsters. Quite a few babies in this herd, so let's see what they get up to. So our resident favorite elephant down here at Savanna, Mr. Big Karula. As you can see, he's actually in full must at the moment. You can see the temporal glands leaking quite a bit and lots of urine coming out between the back legs there. I think we've spoken about it quite a bit, but they are very frustrated during this period of time. I don't know if you saw quickly as we kind of found him, even an impala running past will get him kind of angry and potentially chasing anything that gets in his way. You'll see him smelling quite a bit at the moment. The wind's coming from our western side where he's walking now, and potentially can smell a herd of elephants or maybe a female, and is heading kind of straight that way. Alright folks, we're back out this afternoon having a look in the area where we left the Ottawa Pride. We left them just to the other side of this prominent dam. As we come to the dam, we've actually found a very large crocodile. So these crocodiles will lie up on the banks in the winter and warm themselves up by the sun. They are what we call exothermic, meaning that they don't produce their own heat. They have to get it from an external source. If you have a look, he's actually missing a large portion of his tail. That often happens with crocodiles when they fight over a waterhole like this, or a territorial fight. And that's probably how he's lost that part of his tail. And then if you have a look along the side of his body, you'll see there's a large kind of growth on his side there. And about 5 or 6 years ago, this crocodile was gored by a buffalo in shallow water, and it's believed that that's where that came from. That's the story that we know of where that growth came from. But these prehistoric beasts are pretty incredible creatures. They have evolved into probably almost the perfect predator inside these dams. Their main diet in this area around these dams is definitely catfish, and they are very opportunistic. If a herd of any of the different species of mammals come down and have a drink, they will potentially also have a go at them. Alright folks, luckily managed to find the Ottawa pride again. They didn't move too far, only about 100 meters from where we left them this morning. It doesn't actually look like they've been down to the dam yet, which is quite surprising. We thought they'd probably definitely go down to the dam during the middle of the day. So just waking up, you'll see some yawning, you'll see some grooming starting to happen, and from there hopefully they'll get up and get moving. Hopefully, as this light is with us now, they might head down and have a drink at the dam. If not, we do know still that they are still quite hungry. They haven't hunted during the day, so let's stay with them and see what happens. So I know we haven't seen the Ottawa pride in a while, so we'll just give you a quick reminder of who's actually in the Ottawa pride. We have the two older lionesses. We've just seen the one lioness walk up and lie down next to her sister, and then her cub. So two older lionesses. We then have the young female lioness who's just turned 5 years old. We then have one older cub who's now 2 years and 4 months, and then we've got the three little cubs. They've grown up quite nicely now. They're looking at about 14 to 15 months now. They turn 2 in October. And we've also got the Matimba male, who this month is actually turning 15 years old, according to our research that we have done on him and the Matimba coalition. Always love seeing the three little cubs coming and playing together. You'll see how they very often are found together, the three of them grooming and continuing that social bonding. You'll see how the little females just stood up and walked towards them, and now all three of them grooming each other. So that lioness that's just walked in now is the mother of the three younger cubs. You'll see them grooming there quite nicely. She always has a very tight bond with those young cubs. So that lioness is 5 years old, and she's actually the sister of the Ottawa male who's dominant over the Mangan pride. The two of them were born 5 years ago now, and they actually had another sibling, another brother, who was killed in a big fight that the Ottawa pride had with hyenas, and their mother was actually unfortunately killed in that fight as well. And the two of them, the Ottawa male and that female, were actually raised by their auntie, and luckily they were old enough at about 8 months old when it happened that they managed to survive, and now we get to view her as a mother herself. Quite an interesting thing happened about 2 years ago. We had a change in male coalition in this western sector. The previous coalition, the Majigala males, all died off after making it to 13 years old, which is considered pretty good for a male lion. And just before they'd all died off, this one female gave birth to 3 cubs. And normally when a new coalition comes in, the males will come in and kill off any previous offspring from any other males. But the lioness was very, very clever, and she managed to sneak these cubs all the way down close to Savanna's property and hide them for 2 or 3 months away from the new incoming Matimba males. And after both other females had been mating with the Matimba males, they all rejoined, and the lioness has managed to trick the male into thinking that this cub actually belongs to him. So he's pretty lucky to be around. It's not a normal situation at all in this area. Alrighty folks, we've been with the Ottawa pride for quite a while now. They're kind of resting up a little bit. I'm sure they'll continue hunting throughout the night as always. But I think that's where we're going to leave them here for tonight, and thanks very much for joining us for another episode, and we look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Alrighty folks, always a bonus. Just as you're driving home, you have always got a chance of bumping into a leopard. We found one of the old boys here, known as the Imfukwazi male. He's busy milling about here. We've seen tracks in this area over the last couple of days and actually weren't quite sure who it was. So he's quite an old leopard, but always lovely getting a bonus leopard on the way home. Have a look at that fresh cut on the side of his face. From what we know, this male's never been territorial, and so he moves around throughout most of the Sabi Sands. He's been seen throughout his life, never claiming a territory. Alright folks, we're going to leave him there. He's moved off into a bit of a thicker block there in vegetation. We're not going to follow him at night through there. And so yeah, we'll say good night again, and we'll hopefully see you again tomorrow.